Good morning, everyone. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all to Spark'23, a series of online workshops designed to ignite your passions and help you reach your full potential. Today, we are honored to have Mr. Santhush Weeraman as our guest speaker for a workshop on leadership. Mr. Santhush is a renowned expert in the field of leadership, and we are thrilled to have him share his insights and experiences with us. He has a wealth of knowledge and expertise that he will be sharing with us today, and I am confident that you will find his workshop both informative and inspiring. Leadership is an essential skill in today's fast-paced and ever-changing world, and I believe that this workshop will help you to become better leaders and achieve your goals. So let's get ready to learn, grow, and be inspired by Santhush's expertise.
More than children, but love is such a feeling. Believe me, I love you. More than children, love is such a feeling. Believe me, I love you. More than children, but love is such a feeling. Sene has avamadane.
Hello, hi everyone. Hi everyone, thank you for the warm welcome. Can all of you all hear well, is it?
Yes, sir, we can hear you properly.
Okay, lovely. So I'll take that as yes, and we'll move forward. Well, once again, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. And today the subject matter that we are going to talk about is leadership. Well, of course, you all must have seen, some music as to where we are singing and all these things, right? So, so some of you might wonder, within the music field, when you're singing in very soulfully and singing those kind of songs, how does leadership apply, right? So I will get to that point as to whatever you do in life, right? Whatever discipline you choose in life and whatever industry you choose, when you pursue certain levels, right? Leadership is something definitely that you need to get into your body, get into your soul, and that will help you to understand whatever industry and take you forward in life, right? So before I get into the subject matter of leadership, like I would like to touch upon the say the life, right, or whatever life learning curves that I've had throughout the years, right? Because those things are the other areas of exposure of life experiences that gave me leadership, right? Or which gave me the understanding as to how to lead in certain areas and take matters forward in my life, right? So just to tell you, long years ago, is it okay if I do it in single English, both Singlish, or do you want to just stick to English? Is it okay for the benefit of everyone?
We'll be fine with both. You can take your time.
Right. Okay. Lovely. Right. So basically, long years ago, right? Now it's about 25 years ago, right? We was just schoolboys just like you all, right? I was at Royal, Bharti was at Ananda, right? We were good friends, and we both did scouting, right? So we both of us were boys, students who wanted something in life. I think that we had acquired by the age of, I think, knowing Bharti also, both of us, by the time we had reached grade 6, right? 7, I think both of us had felt, we want to achieve this in life. We want to get somewhere in life, right? So when it comes to me, by the time I came to grade 6, 7, 8, right? Uh, I had felt that, okay, I want to achieve something at Royal. I had done athletics, I had done badminton, on all these things, and then I realized that I can't. I'm not achieving what I want in those, sports, right? Because I was not coming first, second, third. I was not at least giving my best, in athletics or badminton, or I actually went and played cricket during grade 4, grade 5, but just got selected to the C team and realized, it didn't actually work, right? So by the time of grade 7, 8, right, I felt, okay, I need to put myself together. So I started planning at that time itself, right? So I want to, settle myself, take time, get into my studies, put some discipline into my life, and started planning. And then I wanted to be quite good in at least one particular sport. And I had determination in my mind that, okay, I am going to represent my school in at least one sport. So I realized that by that time in athletics, badminton, those things, I'm not going to represent Royal, right? So there was at the end of the day in life, whether you're a little boy or no matter how old you are, it is passion that drives you, right, to do anything. So being passionate about whatever area is very, very, very important. So at that time, playing rugby for the school was a very, very passionate thing that I had. So when I was in grade 9, I went for practices, got selected to the B team, and we played the All Island Trophy, and we won the play champion, and that was okay. But in my mind, I was thinking, okay, Santhush, you're playing for the B team, and now you're in grade 9. So in 6, 7 years down the line, you will get the chance to represent the college. So if you're playing B team now, will you be able to play for 15, right? So I was just thinking in my mind, calculating who will be in 4, 5 years down the line, the players will be. I was at that time itself, I was thinking about the final 15 players who will play in 4, 5 years time, right? So I was anticipating, I was imagining, okay, it was all my friends, my seniors, but this player will play fly half, this player will play scrum half, he will play wing 3/4. So in my mind, so then I realized that I didn't have certain areas of talent and, I would say, skill, right, to get there, because all these positions there were people who were more skilled than me. Now, that is an important thing for you to realize, right? Whether you're small or whether you're big. Having confidence, knowing that you have talent, determination, passion, all those things, yes, it is important. It will take you forward. But understanding and coming into, that understanding with yourself, right? And telling yourself, okay, you are weak in these areas. You are weak in these areas. You need to, get yourself right in these areas. That is one of the first learning curves that you need to have in your life. if you want to bring in leadership to yourself, right? Because there'll be one day when you're working at a company, right? At your organization, there will be people who will come and tell you, okay, we are not getting this right. These certain areas are not right. If you don't have the composure to tell yourself, okay, this person is telling me something, I need to correct myself. I need to correct the organization because he has a point. If you don't have that humbleness within yourself to do that, you won't be a great leader, right? Whether it is whether you're running the country or whether running organization or running the city or whatever area that you are trying to give leadership, that's the first thing. So you have to start within yourself, right? You start within yourself, right? You have to understand what is to be corrected, right? So at that time in my life, I realized that okay, there are certain skills that you need to improve. So therefore, what I did was I realized that I had strength in the area of kicking, right? So I was a quite good kicker. Then I thought, okay, for me to play rugby one day, I need to really improve myself in kicking. So I thought, okay, I will go and play football for Royal, right? And then I will improve my kicking. So I joined the soccer team and I improved myself and also whatever skills that I learned from soccer, I applied for rugby and I improved my skill. By the time I was 17 years, I was one of the best place kickers in my school, right? And the amount of time and dedication I gave to be that, I could remember every day I used to do 100 kicks. I used to go home and there was a place that I had created for place kicking. I used to keep the ball in the ground. I started with the soccer ball, right? And I started kicking. Then I developed the ball to go in the air, right? I know I'm not talking about singing, but this is the early learning curves of my childhood, right? Where I realized the potential, how to unleash your potential. And then I replaced it with the rugby ball. And then I started lifting. And then I started lifting it in there and I realized that I was getting in control of the ball. The ball was not in control of me. I was in control of the ball. And my kicks were, I was able to understand the line, the length. I was very much in control. And it came to a point. Now, this is intuition. Like, this is the very interesting place that you all need to understand. There was a time where I felt when I was going to kick, the connection that I would create with the ball, I felt, okay, this was going to, say during practices, that I would convert this. You get this feeling. It's like an intuition, right? At certain times, okay, this is not going to convert because of whatever reason, right? So now, those things, basically after learning all those things, I played for under 17. I became the best place kicker in school. So therefore, I got a position in the team and we ended up winning the All Island trophy. We were the unbeaten champions because the rest of the team players were also, we had a super team back in 1994. Right? All the players, we played so hard. Everyone had the same feeling. And we played like a team, right? During that 1994 year, the amount of learning that I would have had to become what I am, and these all aspects of leadership, I would say it is immense that I learned during those years, right? How to cooperate within a team, how much of sacrifice you need to do, right? What I'm saying is, there are times where you would play and then you're running together as a team, in your together to keep the try. And sometimes the try line would be just 1 or 2 meters away, but I could see the opponent in front of me. So I would take the opponent and pass the ball to my other colleague for him to keep the try. I wouldn't take the chance, because why take the chance when my friend can keep the try without risk, right? So now you know that next day morning on the papers, it is not your name which is going to go saying that, okay, he kept the try, right? It's not my name, but I would pass the ball. So, I mean, everyone had that thing. It is not about the personal glory. It is about the glory of the team. It is about, being together, working as one. So starting from every player to the captain, they would give that inspiration. So I realized that the captain of the team, right, captain of our team, captain of they were able, starting from the coach, right? We had two fabulous coaches. They would be able to inspire us to think like that. So all 15 people thought like that, right? So the reason I brought this story of rugby into my into this subject matter is because sports is an area that really creates leadership, right? Aesthetics will create that, bring you that intuition, bring you that spiritual thing, bring you that feeling, make you understand more closer to people with regard to aesthetics. But sports give you a certain discipline, a certain perspective of life, right? So at that stage of my life, it really helped me in those areas. Then also I want to become a prefect in my school. So I did so many other extracurricular activities. I had my own timetable, right? It was not only the school timetable. After school timetable, I had my own timetable after that. I was a part of the United Nations Club. I was the instructor in charge of the Royal College Scout Troop of the Gold Troop. Then I debated for Royal. I was in the English debating team. Then, of course, I continued playing soccer also, and I got my colors for soccer. Then Weeraman club, and all these clubs you do. So I was quite involved in the Buddhist Brotherhood, all those things. So now, what I'm trying to say is, now these things don't happen whether you are an adult or whether you are a 30, 40, 50-year-old man. Nothing happens, no, it doesn't happen, right? You all need to think, you all need to have a plan, right? If you work according to a plan with a lot of discipline, only you will get somewhere in life, right? Yes, of course, luck will definitely play, right? That is something, I would say, that's a additional thing that will come in, right? Sometimes, yes, we do need luck to be at the correct place at the correct time, but 90% of the time it is your game, right? So it is what you do to be that, right? So what I would like to say is, start leadership. Now, the reason why I brought this up was, I was having a chat with my son, right? So I told him that I'm going to give a speech to Ananda College and about leadership. So now the question my son asked me was, Tati, why are you talking about leadership to schoolboys? Right? So in his mind, right, leadership was for adults, right? So leadership is not only for adults, like leadership starts from this age, right? So especially after grade 6, you need to start inculcating, you need to start, developing discipline, a focus, a plan to yourself. Then yes, you will become, you will create, you will bring these leadership qualities into yourself, right? Don't ever think that, okay, I don't know, this is my opinion, right? You should not think that, okay, I'm going to be the boss of what place, I'm going to be this leader, or it is important to think very, very positively. But a leader is not someone who will basically dictate people and say, okay, you do this, and boss people, boss them around. No, that is not a leader, right? You might see people in your life who, there are people like, who will, shout at people, who will, drive them down, kagahala, banala, gahala, to make them do that. There are leaders, and that is a way of leadership also, right? But personally, to me, that is short term, right? Because that person is doing that out of fear. That person is doing. The person who is under you, he's doing that for you because of fear, because you're shouting, because you're saying this and that, and so that. No, a true leader to me is a person who could inspire. Sometimes you might have to be aggressive to make that person understand. But most of the time, 99% of the time, if you can inspire that person, make them understand, okay, you have to do this because of these reasons, and when you trigger that, then the rest of the 99% happens. Rest of the thing happens within themselves. They feel, oh, I want to do this because of these things. Then their mind expands. They become leaders within themselves, right? It's called empowering, right? So when they become leaders within themselves, right, they take initiative, they take action, then they do it for you, for the team, for the company, for your organization, for for your band, for your whatever enterprise you have, right? They give their 100%. Why? It has ignited within them. So a true leader is a person who can do that to a person, right? That is the final edge, or the final point of a leader, being able to inspire another person, being able to inspire your friends, being able to inspire your family, being able to inspire your relations, your friends, your outer circle, then being able to inspire your school, then your city, the country, and the world, right? Now, earlier, when I was talking about the school life and all those things, what I spoke about was the basic stuff, right? About leadership, right? So it's like areas like discipline, how much of discipline you will need to have, right? That is a very, very important ingredient. I'm not going to talk of these things. They get a discipline, vinay, you all know, right? What to be brought, so in discipline, in a sense, like I'll just go to some slight areas. When you, now discipline within yourself, not doing certain things, not doing doing certain things, obviously you all know that, right? At this stage, you all know that. But discipline, emotional discipline, discipline in the sense like, there are certain things where people come and tell you, there are certain things you get inspired, there are certain things you want, but at which point am I to do that, right? Discipline, controlling your emotions and not and saying, okay, now this is not the time to do that, we do that later, right? For example, like we will create 2 songs, right? We have created a song and we really like that song, right? But then I would say, okay, this is not the time to release that song, right? Let's we will release this song. Bhati and I would talk, and we'll be like, okay, let's release this song in 6 months down the line. Now, emotionally, yes, we really want to do that. We want to release that song. But then we would think, no, this is not the time, because certain components of the market, certain components that we need to fix, or we need to add into that, like a music video, to so many other things, to promotions, to all those things is not right, right? So that is a certain discipline apart from the discipline you create for yourself. Once you create the discipline for yourself, that is the discipline you bring into your subject matter or what you do, right? Okay, පාඩම් වලටත් වෙනවා ඕගලන්ගේ හරි ආස වෙන්න පුළුවන් මොන හරි ස්පෝර්ට් මොන හරි දෙයක් කරන්න. හැබැයි එක තැනකින් පස්සේ ඕගලන් උදාහරණයක් හැරෙට let's say ඕගලන්ගේ subjects 8 තියෙනවා කියමුකෝ. එහෙම නැත්නම් A levels හරි වට මේ subject සමහර subjects තියෙනවා හරි ආසයි මේ දේ කරන්න ඒ දෙක ආසයි. හැබැයි ඕගලන් හිතන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් මම මේ subject එක මේක හොඳටම කරා. හැබැයි දැන් මේ ටික කරා දැන් ඇති. මේ ටික ඇති මට අවශ්‍ය තැනට යන්න. තව subject matter එකක් තියෙනවා මම තව මොන හරි විෂයක් තියෙනවා මම එච්චර කැමති නැහැ. Right, but I need to put effort into that. Right, so you have to have that discipline with regard to things you like, dislike, and dating. There was a nice thing, in Japan. Right, this is a famous thing. This is something that with regard to doing things that we don't like. Right, now, this is the discipline we need to have. I'm talking about very advanced level of discipline, right? Because ගොඩක්ලා discipline කවම කියන්නේ හොඳ නරක මම ඔයගලන්ට කියලා දෙන්න ඕනේ you all know that, right? This is more advanced discipline, as in like now for example there are certain things we have to do but we don't do it, we procrastinate. Why? Because we don't like it. So therefore we say okay හෙටට දානවා අනිද්දාට දානවා, or we don't like doing it, or ultimately we end up not meeting those goals. Why don't we like it? Right, now this is a famous this is a Japanese formula that was created in this is a very 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 traditional thing in Japan. In their culture what they teach is the reason why we don't like something is because we are not good at it. Right, think about yourself, think about certain things you do. Right, there are certain things we don't like to do that particular thing. Why? Because most of the time the reason why we don't like to do that is we are not good at it. So if you put some time, let's say for example maths, සමහර කට්ටිය ගණිතයට ආස නැහැ. අයියෝ ආස නැහැ. ඇයි? ඔක කරන්න ගියාම හිර වෙනවා, මේක තේරෙන්නේ නැත්තේ. If you don't understand something, obviously you don't want to do that. Right? Then if you are not getting it right, you get frustrated. So therefore we don't like doing that. But if you put time, right, and if you put time and then you slowly get it right, whatever particular area, trigonometry වෙන්න පුළුවන්, බීජගණිත වෙන්න පුළුවන්, algebra, whatever, right? Like you say, when you start getting it right, there is a certain satisfaction you get towards the end. Wow, I got this right. මට මේ උත්තරේ හම්බුණා. Now I know this particular area of subject. Then what happens? You create a liking because of that satisfaction. Then you want to do it again. You want to go to the next level. Then you get it right. Then you go to the next level. Automatically what happens? You become, while you're being good, you're creating this interest. When you start really, really being good at it, you will be doing it more and more, and that will be something that you will do because that gives you gratification. Right? So තමන්ට ඒ සතුට එන්න පටන් ගත්තාම පස්සේ ඒකෙන් when there is gratification in what you do, right, තමන් ඒක තමන් සන්තෝෂ වෙනකොට තමන් ඒ දේ කරනවා. Right, so this is the formula. If you don't like Hello, sorry people, right? Can you all hear?
Yeah, so we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. All good.
You all can hear, no? All good, no? Okay, fine. So basically, what I was saying was, so once you create that interest, right? And once that happens, then you start doing it. You can't help it, right? So final thing is, most of the time think, මම මේක කරන්න ආස නැහැ. මම හැමදාම මේක හෙට කල් දානවා. ඇයි මම මේක කරන්න ආස නැත්තේ? මගේ එතන talent එක මදි හින්දා. මම ඒක හැකියාව මදි හින්දා. So develop that. That applies to anything. right? So discipline is something like that. So areas like courage, your determination, learning the subject matter, all those things is like primary stuff which I spoke about, right? When you develop all these things, intuition is something that comes into you. Feel that, okay, make a veno, I'm going to do this. Intuition is something that is important for a leader, right? So you develop, and intuition is something you should that will develop from if you put effort from small days, right? That is something, this is the intuition is something that's very important. Some people are born with it, right? Yes, people are born with it, but you need to if you put time, you can acquire that also. The how you get that is, you need to observe your environment very carefully. Oka podi kalindamma tiyenna one, right? From grade 6 whatever onwards, when you're in life, until you die, right? Your environment, you to be very observant. Then your intuition develops, right? It's not only about, if you're talking to someone, it's not only their whatever they are saying. There are so much of external, internal things that you have to focus, that gives you information, that tells you certain things, right? There are body gestures, right? Then certain external things that have happened before, after, all those things. And so basically, this intuition is a very important thing. I'm not going to go into detail because you all can read up and get more info. So that is a very important thing, right? So now when I get on stage, I know where the show is going. I know what's going to happen. When I look at a person, I can tell, okay, this person has come because he likes a song, right? I would know, okay, he likes these kind of songs. He doesn't like these kind of songs. The way they dance, the way they move, right? So should be able to grasp those things. I'm talking of, it doesn't happen at when you are like 14, 15, 16. But when you do these things with time, when you become 18, 19, 20, 21, then you have developed these skills, right? So then when you put that into your subject matter, whatever, whether if you're a doctor, අපි ලෙඩා ඇවිල්ලා ඉඳ ගන්නකොට ලෙඩේ කියලා ඉවරයි. ඒ leadership එකේ එක කෑල්ලක්, right? So that is also, a part of intuition, right? Then areas like integrity, මම ඒ ගැන වැඩි කියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ, මොකද උගලන් as Ananda college boys, I know that is something that is inculcated to you. Integrity, honesty is something that I don't need to teach Anandians, right? So I'm not going to emphasize on that. You're nurtured, nourished in a very strong Buddhist environment. So I'm not going to toil on that. Integrity, tamange heart එක tamange hari de කරන දේ මම වැඩි අතරින් කතා කරන්න යන්නේ, because I believe as Anandians you all have that to the greatest, right? So now මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කියපු all those things, right? Now this is slightly more advanced, right, to what you need to bring into your leadership, right? I would try to wind up in the next like 10-15 minutes, so then you can ask questions from me. Is your thought, right? How you think, right? Now, apart from the earlier, all the points that I told you, all the areas and the stories I told you, yes, those are basic things that you will need to have, those are the basics. Now, the second tier, right, is your thoughts, right? How you think, right? Do you need to adjust your mindset to become a leader, right? To be a good person, to live your life, yes, you need to adjust your mindset, right? In the sense, when you're thinking, you have to bring a certain amount of analytical thinking. You have to be conscious, right? Of what you're doing. So when you start thinking and asking yourself certain questions, like, what are we talking about? How are we going to do these things? Right? The questions of what and how are the basic things you ask. But right, into yourself, as in, like, when you start questioning, ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේ why කියන එක ගේන්නේ නැහැ කල්පනා කරන්න. හරි? When you start bringing why to yourself, right? Why are we doing this? Why am I sitting and talking and sitting and listening to leadership? Why is he saying certain things like this? Why did he break his speech into two areas of primary things that you need to learn to become a leader, to bring in leadership to yourself? Why is he moving on to the second phase? Right? So why is something that you need to bring into your thinking, right? So this is something, this is the most critical thing, right? Whatever, whether you are a lawyer, whether one day you're an engineer, a doctor, hari, even if police panare ඕන රස්සාවක් කරත්, right? ඔය why කියන එක හරි කල්පනාවේ නැත්තම්, in your thinking pattern from morning till evening, if that is not there, it's difficult for you to become this great leader, because it is that thought will give you istala kiyapu discipline, courage, intuition, all those things will bring you, your wisdom, to take correct decisions, the knowledge that is important for yourself will open within you, if only this why is always going in your mind, in your thought process, right? So with that idea, right, with those things, you will develop your thinking. You will start creating a vision, right? In whatever discipline you do, you will start creating a vision for yourself, right? So, like, for example, if I was doing music, right, මට මේක මං සින්දු හදනවා. හැබැයි this is I'm going to very important things, right? ගොඩාක් සින්දු කියන කට්ටියට ඒක මියුසික් එකක් විතරක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක සංගීතයක් විතරක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ හොඳ සින්දුවක් ස්ටේජ් එකට නැගලා හොඳ කට්ටියට හොඳට සින්දුව කියලා බයිලා ගාලා රැප් එකක් දීලා කට්ටිය නටවලා ඒ සින්දුව හරියට කියලා, right? It could be, just give me a second please. Yeah. Right, it could be only that, but thing is, just give me a second. I think there is so much noise coming in. Hold on. Sorry, I think there was a bit of external noise coming, right? Sorry about it, right? So, yeah. So I was saying, when that thought process starts happening, you yourself will start envisioning things, right? This is the most කියලා කියනවා important thing to become a leader is the vision. අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා කියපු කාරණා ඔක්කොම basics. If you cannot give a vision to your people, if you cannot give a vision, if you don't create a vision for yourself, you won't become a leader, right? Now if you take a CEO of a company, why we pay then balai CEO එච්චර වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. There are not most of the people down, under operations to this and that, to people who branding වැඩ කරන පල්ලෙහා කට්ටිය, they do a lot of work, but it's the CEO's job to give the direction, tell, yes, we are going to do this, right? This is our path. නැවේ direction එක මොකද ඒක වැරදිලා වැරදි තැනක ගියොත් එම ඔක්කොම හැප්පෙනවා. The reason why they get paid so much is because of giving that direction, right? කවුරුරි බාස් කෙනෙක් ඇවිල්ලා ගහලා වාහනේ උදේ ඉඳන් හැන්ද වෙනකන් තලාගෙන හදනවා. right? හැබැයි අර කවුරු එන්ජිනියර් කෙනෙක් තමයි ඇවිල්ලා කියන්නේ නෑ පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න. මෙන්න මෙතනට තමයි තට්ටු කරන්න ඕනේ. So අර උදේ ඉඳන් හැන්දෑ වෙනකන් මේ වාහනේ හදන මිනිස්සයාට හම්බෙන ගානයි. අර ඇවිල්ලා මෙතන තැන පෙන්නපු එක එක්කෙනත් එක්ක අරයට get the other person gets paid more, right? I'm not talking about disparity and all those things, but it's not about, I'm talking about money. But this is the reason why they get paid more is because people who can give that vision, who can understand the problem and give the solution is very rare, right? Now I'm talking of a vision is something much more than a solution, right? It is the thing that basically, inspires and creates a difference, right? And that final ultimate solution for a problem that has never been solved, right? Now this is what you have to start doing from small days. මම අර සින්දුවක් කියන එක තමයි මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කියන්න ගියේ. For most people in the industry, a song is that a nice tune, දාලා සින්දුවක් නටවලා, so they'll do the rap, the entire thing, and they'll do a good performance, all those things. No. To me, a song is not just that. A song is something that you can, apart from the enjoyment, all those things, something that you can inspire people. A song can change people's lives. A person can come home feeling very tired, feeling absolutely sad and depressed. They will listen to a song. Within 5 minutes, their mind changes. If you play a proper song with the correct lyrics, words, all those things to a country, the entire mindset of the country changes, even for that particular amount of minutes or hours, right? So then, if you know that a song can do that, if the song has that amount of power, then what do? I go back to the drawing board and understand the whole algorithm of the song. How does it happen? The formula of the song. Certain songs don't do that. Certain songs do. Right? So then I would ask, why would certain songs do that? Why can a question? Why would certain songs be so powerful to the people? Like a song like We Are the World. Right? If We Are the World Sindhuwa ලෝකේ කොහෙ ප්ලේ කරාන් පස්සේ ඒ තියෙන තරහවල් නිවිලා තියෙන or whatever anger you have within people, you feel, no, we have to be together. So that small emotional thing that happens for the next 5 minutes in your mind, right, that composure was because of that song. So what is the algorithm? What is the formula? So then you go into things like, okay, can't we prolong that formula? විනාඩි 5කට අපි ඇති කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඒක අපිට පුළුවන් ද ඒ formula එක වෙන දෙයකට apply කරන්න. ඕක දවස් 5ක් කරන්න. දවස් 5ක් කරන්න පුළුවන්, ඕක මාස 6ක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. How do you understand? To me, a song is much more than music. A song is much more than that. There's so much that I would envision through a song. You can change life, you can change places, a country, to all those things. That is a vision, right? So when you bring what is right for humanity, when you feel what is right, you bring your all those earlier things of integrity, now you become a person who could change the culture, the tradition. Because for what? For the development of the country, the world, everything, right? So this is something very important. How to be being able to vision certain things. Of course, you need courage, all those things, right? So, you putting effort to put this together, right? There is always, they say, talent and effort, right? Putting talent and effort just becomes a very minute thing if you don't have focus and determination, right? You may be utmost talented, you may put all the time on earth to do that, but if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a focus, and if you don't have determination, you won't achieve, right? So these are attributes that will empower you to create that vision, right? Finally, right, I've spoken about the mind, I've spoken about the awareness you need to create within yourself to become that great leader. This is a gradual process. It doesn't happen overnight. For you to become a top leader in whatever subject matter you do, right? It will take time. It will take, great amount of time for you to reach that peak time. When you know that you're going on the correct track, right? There'll be a certain composure that will come to your mind, right? Now, this is the final thing that I want to tell you, right? You will feel calm, right? Top great leaders of the world are very calm people, right? Not that they don't get angry, they do get angry, right? But it is, they are in control of that anger too. That is a great leader, right? You have to be, when the world is falling on top of you, cannot get excited. You should have the composure, the strength, right? To keep calm and believe that, yes, we will find a solution. This is the way. Let your mind work, your brain work, and envision that, how to solve it, and keeping everyone around you calm. And also, when chaos happens around you, what happens is there'll be a lot of people who will want to crush you, who will want to destroy you, right? Those things are there, right? Keeping a note of all those things also, not getting excited, not doing the wrong decision, right? You somehow find your way and go forward and make it right and make it justful for everyone. To do that, that's composure you need, that calmness and that composure you need. So I think I touched a load of areas on leadership, right? So both Bharti and I, we do music, right? But even though we do music, we have expanded into so many areas within the music industry, because we face problems. We realize that Sri Lankan copyright structure is not working. Payments are not given to people. People are exploiting the music industry. All those things. I think you have heard. I've spoken about these subject matters so many on television and on different seminars. This is one reason why big institutions, companies, countries don't invest in Sri Lanka with regard to intellectual property. ඒ කියන්නේ බුද්ධිමය දේපල අපේ තියෙන ටැලන්ට් එකට මිනිස්සු ලංකාවට ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරන්නේ නැති හේතුව තමයි අපේ රටේ හරි බුද්ධිමය දේපල පනතක් නැහැ. ඒක ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපේ මිනිසුන්ගේ අයිඩියාස්, අපේ රටේ ඉන්න කවුරු හරි කෙනෙක්ගේ නව නිපැයුම්, එතකොට කියන්නේ මේ ඊස්තටික්ස් වල සෞන්දර්යමය අදහස්, ඒක ලිටරචර් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, සාහිත්‍යමය දේවල් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, ගද්‍ය පද්‍ය සංගීතය ආර්ට්, මේවා හරියට රටේ ආරක්ෂා වෙන පද්ධතිය නැහැ. ආරක්ෂා වෙන එහෙම, when there is no proper security, there is no protection, other industries use this, they exploit, they make revenue. No revenue comes to the musicians. For example, all the media, they play the songs, no penny, not a rupee is given to the singer or the composer or the lyricist, right? This is the environment we are in, right? So now both Bharti and I thought, okay, this is the environment we are getting into. How can we survive this? So we created other options of, we gave leadership to create other companies. So today we have one of the biggest film companies in the country, one of the biggest events companies in the country. So SGM Films, Showtown, then we have one of the biggest advertising agencies in the country, right? Then SGM Tunes, SGM say the record, in sense like, with regard to record labels, artist management, SGM Logistics, which handles the entire group logistics, right? So we have created, then BNS Productions is also another company who takes care of BNS work, right? That mean and the create all those things. So we were able to create all those things, and there are people with degrees, with master's degrees working for us, who believe in the vision, who believe in what we see, what we foresee with regard to the entertainment industry, what is going to happen in the country in the future, right? So there are about 100 people working with us, right? So this is the leadership we have given, apart from what you see us on stage, right? What we do on stage is what we really like, what both of us love doing, right? But we feel that this industry could offer more and go beyond the country. So creating if Sri Lanka does not have that infrastructure, it's pointless saying ayyo mekane arakane. Might as well start doing it. So during the last 20 years, we have created that infrastructure for ourselves, and now that infrastructure is there for the rest of the people also in the country, right? That all happened due to leadership, right? So otherwise we would have been just a singer. Today we are not just a singer, we are entrepreneurs. There are people working. We are stakeholders of the entire industry, right? Now recently, I'll be doing a drama, right? Six Pack Killer. We are coming out with our first teledrama for SGM Films, right? It will be on ITN. So these are new things. It's a youthful drama which will change the whole dimension of the dramas also, with a lot of philosophical thinking. But Elie Hari light, very light subjects we are talking, but underneath a lot of serious, very futuristic, contemporary Sri Lankan youth living subjects we are talking. So what I'm saying, all these now, most of the reason I told you was because you all see us as singers, you all don't know what we do, right? So we do all these things. All these things happen because of a particular leadership that we have brought into this industry, right? So if we can do this with music, right, I'm sure you Anandians will do utmost great in the areas you choose, because most of these other industries can offer so much, right? And so I'm quite sure if you bring these things into your life, the earlier things I told you, the basic stuff that the school teaches you, right? Then the rest of the areas that I told you, right, of creating this vision, your intuition, right, how you think, your thought process, right, then your effort, then bring that mindfulness into you, creating that composure, how to create that composure, right? Those things will create a great leader for you, and you will envision your leadership, what kind of difference you want to make in the world, right? And then your vision will guide your team, your people, your company, your efforts, and your country. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for being with me, and to have this discussion lecture with regard to leadership. If you have any questions with regard to leadership or any other subject matter, please do answer. Please do ask any question. Don't feel afraid to ask any question. I'm there to answer any question you ask. Thank you.
Guys, if you guys have any questions, please direct them to the chat. Right, so I'll just ask one more question to Santhush. So now,
Yeah.
I think BNP is turning 25 years this year, all the way from 1990 to 2023. So, like, how did you guys stay together in those 25 years? Because it's not easy to stay together for like 25 years. So, how was the journey been? So, what's the experience? What do you have to share with us regarding that journey?
Well, the journey has been really great, right? Both of us have been working together, and I have a great partner to work. And it is not an easy ride to work with another person, right? Especially when both people have very strong ideas, and no one thinks alike, right? Everyone thinks differently. So both of us also think differently. So during the times where we think the same, it's very easy, right? Any company would go forward because it's easy. The problem comes when things become, when you have opposite directions to the solution, right? When we don't agree on the same thought. So at that time, most often, not make it a problem or an argument, right? I would always say, bring the reasoning, bring the logic as to why you're saying that. So we would both discuss as to why, right? And then come into a logical thing, very humanly, very, very, very gentleman-like saying, okay, this is the reason. Your reasoning is this, my reasoning is this. So, which will really work. Now, those things can be solved with certain problems which can be quantified. But now certain things cannot be quantified. Let's say, for example, we are putting a chord and we are making a song and a particular rhythm or a particular chord structure, right? It can be it's very, now that is a difficult thing to agree on, right? Now this is where it becomes more difficult, right? So at that point, most of the time, how we do is, if it is a project that I'm doing, then I get the first call, but I have to be responsible, right? So if it's a project that he's working on, then yes, he can take that final call, and but he's responsible. Now this is the important thing, that why we have been working together and why it has not fallen all this time is, now when the responsibility is passed on to me, right? Or let's say responsibility passed on to him, let's say whoever takes the responsibility, sometimes if it works, yes, then the team is fine, it goes well. But sometimes, even though you have taken you have taken the responsibility, you have taken the responsibility, sometimes it is not working. Before it hits. So when you know that, so when it is not working, if the other person says, "මම දන්නේ ඔයා තමයි මේක කරනවක ඒකින්ද ඉතින් ඔයා හින්දා තමයි මේක වෙන්නේ." Then that is wrong, right? Once we have a discussion, an argument, whatever, right? We have said, then once we solve it, saying, okay, we'll do it this way, right? Either it's your way or my way, we do it. But it's not only that person's responsibility. The other person also thinks, okay, I also need to keep an eye on this, right? Because I disagreed on this. So if it is going, and if you see it's crashing, either me or Bhatia would never tell each other, no, that is something that we don't discuss, because we have had that discussion. We talk to each other saying, okay, I think, we are heading this direction. Shall we take this option? Now, this is the most important. Once you make a decision together, don't ever tell the other person after some time, see, you took this, it's not working. Don't ever say that. You're a team. If it is not working, go with a solution, right? And it is your job to always see, even if that the other person's decision, it is going that way, it's your job to always see, if it is not going, how can we solve this? That contingency is also 100%, also your 50%, your input 50% his input. So don't ever give up your 50% just because it is not your decision, right? So that is the understanding we've had, and that is one reason I think we've continued. Our friendship is there, but when it comes to work, it's very formal, and it's a very good, clear-cut corporate understanding and proper work ethics. That it's a very objective understanding, objective relationship we have with regard to business, with regard to the whatever we do. So it's a rational approach, I think. So that's why it works.
So the music industry is kind of like a industry where it's full of criticism. And when you guys also entered with a new sound to the industry in Sri Lanka, it was very new to people. And after that, also you guys keep changing your sound time to time, experimenting new sounds. So yeah, it's always criticism. So how did you handle it every time?
Well, I will answer this very short and sweet. When you do something, obviously you're going to think so many times before you release that, right? The music, the content within that, the lyrics, so whether it is good or bad for the people, right? And then the level of enjoyment, all those things you think a lot. So how in terms of integrity, in terms of whether it is correct, ethical, all those things, you think all those things. Then once you release it, there are people who will scold you, because if you're thinking of satisfying everyone, you are going to be a loser. There will be people who will go against you, who will disagree with you. But then at that time when they disagree, if you have the guts, if you have the spine to ask them, okay, why are you disagreeing? Tell me what is wrong in this. If you can show me what is wrong in this, yes, then I will correct it. I'll say sorry. I have no problem with it. But if you cannot show me what is wrong, I am not going to emotionally, move myself. I'm not going to get angry, and I'm not going to, put my efforts trying to fight with you. Right? You're a person who just who wants to be cynical, negative about everything. So therefore, why should I, put my efforts and waste my time? No, I won't engage. I'll just ignore, but I'll move forward. Right? So most of the time they say, nah, make a hurry, nah, this and that, but they can't find fault. So if you don't have any fault in you, you can move forward. But if you have fault, yes, you need to correct yourself, take 2 steps back, and then start doing it again. So that's the thing. So when there is negative force coming towards us, this is the way, we've handled it. And that's the answer to that.